Alright, we're back with this video on this 93. The oil cooler lines. This is what it's going to look like when you get done. I'm trying to sell film here. But this is what it's going to look like once you're done putting your fittings up here. These are hard to get to a little bit. If you don't have the dry shaft and all that, but you can take these two bolts out, and which you really need to do anyway. If you got one that's leaking, you can take this bolt and this bolt out, and this thing will come down. Just take your dry shaft out here. It's not real hard. Take it out and take all this down, drain all the oil out, because probably when you're going to want to do this is about the time you're going to want to change the oil anyway. That's when you're going to discover this problem 90% of the time. So go ahead and drain the oil out of the motor. Take this out. When you go to change your filter, just take this whole housing down. You go to your local parts place, they're going to have the gaskets. There's an O-ring and a gasket in there. Get you a little bit of yellow glue. Everybody calls it Gorilla Snot. It's just weather stripping adhesive, yellow weather stripping adhesive. And put that gasket on the bottom here. Make sure you don't have any gasket up inside here. Clean that thing up really good. Brake cleaner works really good. But when you go to do these lines, like you seen us flare them, taking or if you're doing this on a customer's car, make sure that you take these lines where you cut them. You're going to have some metal filings in there where you mushroom them out. Taking the brake cleaner and blow through those things, clean them out real good, because you don't want any metal up in there. Metal inside a motor, inside of oil that's going through a motor is no good. Take and clean them out, blow them out really good before you stick them back on here. It can cause you a little bit of problems if a piece of that metal, even though it's aluminum, gets inside, gets on a ring or cylinder or whatever. It's no good. Just clean them out. It takes you 2 or 3 seconds to do it, and buy you a can of brake cleaner at Walmart or whatever. It's really, but just clean them out. You don't have to use brake cleaner. You can use any kind of solvent. Make sure you clean them out. Diesel fuel, gas, whatever. But we've already cranked this thing up. It comes up to 65 pounds of oil pressure, and it's no leak on them whatsoever. So this works a lot better than that internal plastic as far as that goes. And we're still using the aftermarket dormant lines. I forget the number of them, but your local parts place will know what you're talking about if the rubber piece up there is leaking. Also, when you're putting this thing, or if you're taking it apart, you never took one apart, right here, right in front of the chunk, there's a bracket up there. It takes a 13 millimeter socket, quarter drive. Make sure you take that thing off before you try to take these lines off, because if you don't, you'll have a big headache. Make sure that after you do all this stuff, make sure that all your lines are clear of any moving parts, crankshaft, fans, so on and so forth, because you don't want to put a brand new line on this thing and cut it in two because you didn't pay any attention to other moving parts moving around. One other thing that I want to mention, and it'll take just a second. I'll get out here. Right here, where you're taking this thing out of the radiator, there's 2 O-rings, one here and one in the bottom. Let's see if I can see. You got an O-ring inside here and an O-ring inside here. Make sure if your new lines come in, make sure that on your old ones, make sure that O-ring's not in there. Make sure that you put a new O-ring in there when you put a new line on it. The line should come with a new O-ring. If it don't, match it up with a O-ring from your local parts place. Make sure you put that in there. If you don't, it'll leak automatically. And you can actually look right here. I'm going to have to tie these lines backwards here and there to keep them off the crankshaft. It's no real big deal. You can adjust it here. I hope this video's kind of sort of been educational. Like I said, don't do away with this oil cooler, because it's everything's stuck in here. You got a lot of heat and stuff like that. Especially if you're going to do any kind of towing. That thing will save a motor. But down there where those plastic pieces are, they're no good. They really are no good. And if you do something like this, with that flared fitting, because like I said, these things are kind of thick, and like I said, make sure you have your heat source and use some good quality tools, then you'll be fine. You're not going to have this problem anymore. It's not going to rear its ugly head anymore. As long as you take the steps and tighten those lines up, torque everything down, you'll be just fine. If you have any problems or any questions, you can call me. I run a little trailer hitch shop here. My name is Bobby, and my phone number is 678-725-9953. If you come across anything like this that maybe I can help you on, you can give me a call. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing this and you can't find anybody who'll do it for you, send me the lines. I'll put everything together, send them back to you, show you how to put it together, show you exactly what steps to take. On those fittings under there, make sure you Teflon tape them. And what I'm talking about there, put you some good Teflon tape where this fitting comes out, this old ugly thing here comes out, where you put that new compression fitting on that 3/8 side. Run you some good Teflon tape. They got different sizes at Home Depot or whatever, but put you some good Teflon tape or threader tape or something other on these things. That way you have no issues with oil leaks. Like I said, I hope this is educational, and like I said, if you need me, give me a call. We'll try to help you out.